Hey, everybody. I'm going to talk about why you might be emotionally unavailable. Because I think that knowing why is the first step to becoming more available if that's what you're looking for. The first step is awareness, right? You have to know what is happening if you want to change it. You have to know to change it. So, being unavailable, emotionally unavailable, it's not ideal. It's not ideal if you want to cultivate more closeness in your relationships. If you want to be closer and be more intimate, you can't be unavailable. The way to develop more closeness is to open up, is to let others see who you are, is to share with others what's going on for you. That's how you that's how you build intimacy with somebody. And if that's important to you, and you're also realizing that you might actually not be so as available as you want to be, then you have to do something about it. And sometimes the first thing to do is to explore why. Why might I be unavailable? Oh, wait, comments. Yeah, okay. If you're live, leave me comments. I'm using a platform called StreamYard and there's banners. Actually, I'm going to throw a banner up here, see what happens. Boom, 6 reasons you're emotionally unavailable, ticker style. Wow, that's really annoying, actually. I'm going to stop that. I'm not going to make it a ticker. There you go. So, step one is figuring out, like, why am I like this? Why am I unavailable? And I've been there. It's a little bit awkward and embarrassing, but as a love coach, uh, I have spent a good portion of my life, my adult life, in relationship as an emotionally unavailable man. It's just the way it is. And I will identify with some of these 6 reasons. And you could be a mix of them. You could just be one. It could be temporary. Also, I just want to say, like, if you identify with being unavailable, it's okay. It's not anything to beat yourself up about. It's quite normal, actually. We don't have to be open all the time. And at the end of this, I'm going to show you what you can do to become more available. And yeah, Bonnie says I get so close and then I run. That's exactly what I did. Exactly what I did for many, many relationships. When it got too intimate, I got scared and I left. So, reason number one that you might be unavailable is that you are protecting your heart and your wounds. You are wounded. You're wounded and you're hurt. And to open up opens you up to more pain. That's that's just what happens. That's what happens when you open up. When you open up to love, you also open up to getting hurt. And you might be unavailable right now because you're still healing from a past breakup, from a past experience, from childhood trauma. You're not ready to open up yet. That's okay. It's totally fine. And I'm looking to my right because I wrote a blog post about this. Um, Going deep into your past, into your wounds, is painful. It's painful. And it's okay to not want to explore that. And it's okay to sit on the sidelines while you let time do what it needs to do. So number one, the first reason why you might be unavailable is because you're protecting yourself. And being unavailable is to a certain degree safe. It's safe. If you don't open up, you're not going to get hurt. So reason number two is that you are scared of rejection. And if you're watching this and you have questions or comments, even if you're watching this as a recording, just leave comments and I'll answer them when I can. You are scared of getting rejected because guess what? Rejection hurts and it sucks. And maybe you were rejected in a way growing up that doesn't feel good to you. That didn't feel good and that was like particularly traumatic. And so you really don't want to go through that again. And I get it. I understand. It's It's painful. It's painful to open up and for someone to say, I don't like that. I don't want that. And at the same time, how can you get close to somebody if you don't open up? You can't. John Kim, the angry therapist, likes to say that pain is the ante of sitting at the table of love, and he's using a poker metaphor. And the ante is the little, the bet that you put in, no matter whether you play or not. It's required. I like to say that it's the price of admission. Pain is the price of admission, which actually I don't really like that because that means that pain, you're going to get hurt. But for the most part, you're going to get hurt. In some way, shape, or form, you're going to experience pain in relationships, especially if you open up to deep, deep, deep love. You're going to. And it's okay. It's part of the journey. It's really part of the journey. So number two, second reason why you might be emotionally unavailable and scared of love is because you're scared of rejection. And I get it. Number three, you are scared of either being too much or not enough. So basically, this is the fear of inadequacy, which I feel like is our root fear. It is our base fear. The fear that I am not enough. I am not enough. I have still so much work to do to feel worthy of big, big love. And the fear of inadequacy keeps you small and prevents you from opening up. The belief that you're either too much or not enough is holding you back from fully showing yourself to someone else. If you open up, will they recoil? Will they see who you really are and decide that they don't want any part of that? That's number three. Number four, this is like universal, I think. No one showed you. No one showed you how to open up. Your caregivers, your caretakers, your parents, the people who were close to you growing up didn't show you how to do it. And I'm not surprised. How could they if no one showed them? Their parents didn't show them how to be vulnerable. Probably because we still don't value vulnerability. We don't see it as a strength. We see it as a weakness. And I totally disagree with that. Being vulnerable is a strength, especially if you can choose when and how to be and who to be vulnerable to. Your parents did the best they could. They were in full survival mode when they raised you. Full survival mode. And they did the best they could, and sometimes their best was real shitty. That's just how it is. So you didn't have healthy role models. You didn't learn communication education, relationship education. You didn't learn about emotional intelligence growing up. Join the club. It's a huge club. 99% of us belong to it. So reason number four. Reason number five, you have no idea what you're feeling. Like, no idea. If somebody asked you what's coming up for you, you wouldn't even be able to describe what's going up for you because you haven't spent any time sitting in your emotional discomfort. You haven't spent time sitting there because I get it. It's a very uncomfortable place. It's an uncomfortable place to be. So when you numb or distract or close off from an unpleasant emotion, you're not allowing yourself to sit in that place of discomfort and explore what is coming up. Why is it coming up? What are the stories that I'm telling myself about this? Someone emotionally unavailable has a hard time receiving love and other deep emotions from others. That's something that therapist Allison Cohen says. It's tough to understand the feeling of others because they can hardly understand their own. And that's why meditation is great. It's great for sitting in your discomfort. And actually, after a while, sitting with discomfort becomes easier. Really does. Lastly, you don't want that kind of connection. You are not interested in being emotionally available because that's just not what you're up for. You're not up to it. You're not up to the task. You don't want it. You have other priorities in life. You're working on your career. You're working on passion project. You're, I don't know, taking care of your parents. Like, you don't have space for the work that is required to be emotionally available. And there's nothing wrong with that. I just want to tell you right now, if you don't feel like it, cool. Don't do it. If you don't feel like being emotionally available, it's okay. It's totally fine. I mean, unless you're in a relationship with someone who wants you to be more emotionally available, and then you have a decision to make. But if you're not up for it, if you're not up to the task, if you don't feel like it, cool, don't do it. And if you find yourself emotionally unavailable and you want to be more available, but you're scared, you don't know how to do it, you don't know where to start, well, then you have some work to do. And I will share with you six things that you can do to become more emotionally available. And obviously, I can't go into super detail into all of these, but I'll do my best. And before I do that, I want to tell you what does it mean to be emotionally available? So I have like a basic list of what it means to be emotionally available. Also, if you're watching this live or as a recording, you have a question or a comment, leave one. So let's see. Got a new banner here for you. Oh, first of all, what does it mean to even be emotionally available? I came up with a set of behaviors, basically. Emotionally available people are vulnerable, transparent, and reliable. They are consistent, safe, and stable. They are humble, generous, willing to compromise, openly communicative, and honest. They are aware of some of their weaknesses, know when to show up, and are open to meeting you halfway. Okay, this list obviously isn't exhaustive, and it's not meant to be, but it's an excellent place to start. And it's a fucking tall order. That is hard to be all the time. And good thing, no one's asking you to be that all the time. Not at all. Mm-mm. At best, I'm half of this at any one time. Half. Okay? So it's not about perfection. It's about progress. Can you become more available? So first thing you can do, no need to reinvent the wheel here. Just find the people that you already feel safe opening up to and open up to them. You have some of those people in your life. Identify them. Identify one or two people and open up to them. Tell them how you're feeling. Share with them something that is uncomfortable. Share with them what's going on for you. Be honest about what's happening in your life, right? So like there are those people in your life already. Find them. Number two, this is the tough one. Learn to sit with emotional discomfort. So usually what happens when you're feeling uncomfortable is that you will reach for a source of comfort. You will numb, you will distract, whether it's with food, caffeine, alcohol, nicotine, Netflix, exercise, procrastination. You will do something to change the way you're feeling because you don't like how you're feeling. My suggestion, pause. Pause, even if it's for 5 seconds. Pause between the discomfort and the soothing. And just sit with, sit with the discomfort of an unpleasant emotion. Sit with the shame, the anger, the disgust, the sadness, the loneliness, the just sit with it for a little bit and then grab your thing. That's it. Over time, you'll be able to sit longer between the source and the soothing. And in that time, feel and also ask yourself, what's coming up for me? What is the story attached to this feeling? Why is it here? Spend some time sitting in discomfort in curiosity. Number 3. You are enough. Just believe that. Integrate this, right? My favorite quote on this subject is from Shunrui Suzuki. I'll just drop it in the comments. Each of you is perfect just the way you are, and you could use a little improvement. So you are perfect and you could use some work, which means that you are fundamentally deep down inside worthy of love. You don't need another course. You don't need another podcast. You don't need this video. You don't need more time. You are worthy of love just the way you are. Love from yourself, love from others, love to others. You're worthy. You're not too much and you're not enough. And you could use a little work. And the work happens. It happens over time. You don't have to really do anything special to make it happen. It'll happen over time. So number 3, believe that you are worthy. Number 4, uh, be willing to get hurt. The more you open up, the greater the risk of getting hurt. That's just the way it is. So accept that, deal with it, learn to love it. Learn to love it. The more you open up, the more you risk rejection. But then if you never really open up, no one can hurt you. And then you also don't get access to that juicy, vulnerable, exciting intimacy that we're hoping to build with other people. Pain is the price of admission to sit at the table of love. So have a seat. Have a seat. Love's not going to kill you. Pain's not going to kill you. Rejection's not going to kill you. Emotional pain's not going to kill you. Physical pain might. I don't know. And building emotional availability isn't for everybody. Some people will not be able to deal with your new openness, with the bigness in which you feel, and that's okay. It's okay. If people leave because they're not available to sit with your newfound availability. And that's okay. It's actually great because we want to prioritize people that want to be there for us in the way that we want to be there, which means being open and vulnerable and available. If people don't want to do that work with you, that's okay. There are people that do. My favorite suggestion, number 5, therapy can help. I don't know what else to say, but the therapeutic relationship between a trained mental health professional and you is an intensely healing space. That is its primary purpose. Uncover pain, heal from it. That's it. So if you want to shortcut your healing process, do it with a therapist, knowing that there's nothing short about this process. There's no hack to healing your old wounds other than starting to explore them and sit with them and to do the work required. But it's not a shortcut. It's a long cut. And it's the only way I really know how to do it. Consistent and sustained therapy is an investment in your current and future self and in all of your relationships. I've been in therapy for years. I don't ever plan on stopping. As a coach, I need to have other coaches and therapists in my life that help me work on my stuff so that I can see my shit and continue to heal that stuff. So I wrote a blog post about this. There's the Open Path Collective. I recognize that therapy isn't accessible and affordable to everybody. So in the comments here, here's the Open Path Collective. This is a resource for you to have access to low-cost therapy services. And if therapy is not an option for you for whatever reason, it's totally fine. I have a workshop called All About Emotional Availability. We go through all of this in super, super detail. I think it's 7 hours of instruction, 100-page comprehensive resource document, access to my private Lovebird Club. So here's the link to that. It's $125, cheaper than one therapy session. So that's cool. Therapy can help. And lastly, ask for help. So you don't have to do everything alone. You don't have to do everything alone. In fact, you shouldn't. We are social animals. We're social creatures. We're meant to do this, to do life in community, collectively. So reach out to a friend, ask for help. This doesn't have to be huge. This could just be like asking for a hug or admitting to someone that you're sad. That's all we're talking about here. Small steps towards opening up to people that are safe will build your toolkit, build up your toolkit. So lastly, I'm going to kind of get rid of this banner. All problems require energy to solve. I don't know any problem that will just go away on its own. You have to dedicate time, energy, and resources to solving your issues and your problems if you want to grow from them. Time on its own does help a little bit, but it's really slow, and you might not ever get there. Your deep traumas and your core wounds will not magically get better over time. They won't. They won't. You're going to need help. You're here, which is a great step. If you're here, you're in the right place. All of your problems will require time, energy, and resources if you want to solve them. Opening up to love and your emotional experience will require courage, faith, and vulnerability. The courage to open up to loved ones, to build more loving, fulfilling, and connected relationships. The vulnerability required to show parts of yourself that you've never revealed to anyone else. And the faith that the work of opening up is worth it. That you are worthy of love and that you'll be okay no matter what happens. So thank you for being here with me. I'm going to drop the article that I wrote in the comments. Here you go. This is a friend link from Medium, which means you don't have to pay for it. And thanks. Thanks for being here. Thanks for watching. Thanks for engaging in this kind of content with me. And thank you for doing the work, because the more work you do on yourself, the better your relationships are. The compound effect on the universe. As you heal yourself, you heal your relationships with others. This is big, big stuff. Thanks, everybody. Have a beautiful day.